This review is of Earthborn Elements Sucralose Powder, 0-calorie sweetener. And no return guarantee necessary. Guarantee with no return necessary. Okay. And they don't make it, they just sell it. The nutrition facts. 1/4 of a teaspoon has got no fat, no cholesterol, no sodium, and no carbs, and no protein. And these are the ingredients: sucralose. Now, this originally came in a sealed bag, and I just took the seal, the security seal off. So let's find out. Oh, it's powdered. There's no real smell to it. Oh, I accidentally got a little bit of powder in my mouth that was floating in the air. It was sweet. It was sweet. All right, well, let's get a little bit on my finger. It's both sweet and bitter. I'm not sure why it would be both, but it is. Yeah. Ooh, wow. Wow. Holy crap. I gotta compare this to my other sucralose brand because I don't know why this one is so bitter. Wow. This one is made by Sweets. Yeah, this one has no bitterness. But this one also has allulose in it as well. And this is supposed to be 20 times as sweet as sugar. This is very sweet. Sweeter than sugar. But it's also quite bitter. So it is definitely going to be a challenge to use this. Had I known that it was going to be bitter, I would not have bought it. That's kind of disappointing. If it was a little bit bitter, like the first taste I got of it, that would be one thing, but, you know. Oh, wow. This is really, really bitter. Oh, I'm gonna do a return on this because that's just nasty. I don't know what it would taste like in a beverage. Let me try putting it in some water. Okay, so I have got it in some water now because it's just so bitter by itself. It's not like the sweet sucralose that's mixed with allulose. Actually, allulose is the #1 ingredient. I'll probably just return this. Well, so one little scoop. One little scoop of, which is just tiny, made the water taste sweet. I didn't notice any bitterness. Let me try with a larger amount of it. Okay, so I put in about the same amount of water and double the sucralose. I can ever so slightly notice that there is bitterness. I wouldn't describe it as bitterness if I had known that it was going to be bitter, but yeah, it's tolerable. But now I can see why this isn't as popular. I mean, it's much stronger than erythritol, which is very weak, and the vast majority of the stuff that's sold in the stores, the sweeteners, are made with that have erythritol or maltodextrin. So maltodextrin can spike your blood sugar. Sucralose doesn't spike your blood sugar. Sucralose is pretty safe. A lot of the other ones that they add to sweeteners are, not as good, like sorbitol, mannitol, maltitol, xylitol. They'll all give a bit of a blood sugar spike, although not nearly as bad as sugar. But still sucralose and erythritol, and to a lesser degree, I think mannitol is not too bad. And then, of course, monk fruit, which is very expensive, stevia, which is very expensive. So they cut it with erythritol, and I would assume and it's cheap. So, how do I feel about it? If you're going, I wouldn't recommend it for dusting like a cake or something like that, because it's just, I'm just not sure. I mean, if somebody wants to experiment, let me know what happened when they dusted a donut or a cake or a brownie or a muffin or something like that with this powdered sucralose. Please, I would love to know how you feel about it, and how much you used, but I'm hesitant to recommend that, because since there'll be a dusting on top, the person's going to get directly on their tongue, and they're going to taste that bitterness in full power. And even with the cooked dessert there, it's not going to protect the person if they don't know not to let the powder touch their tongue until they've started chewing. And even then, I just can't recommend it for that. If you're going to use it, you're going to mix it into something else, I think it'll be okay as long as you're careful not to use too much. But at this point, wow, the bitterness is a major turnoff. If you like bitter, you're probably going to be happy with this. If you like bitter gourd, for example, which is quite bitter, you might be happy with this pure sucralose. For me, however, pure sucralose straight is about a 3, because it really is bitter. And once you mix it into something else, it's much better. Thanks for watching, and I hope you have a great day.